Wow! Why is his tongue sticking out like that? Oh no, this is the side of parrots you never thought you'd see. Wow! G'day, I'm Anne from ABC Science, and today we're going to be breaking down videos of extraordinary animal behaviour. From surprising skills
Cheers, mate.
to super senses. We've searched the internet to find the best videos to show which of these 5 wild animals is the most extraordinary. Yeah, wow. If there was a prize for breaking the internet, these animals would probably win it. Yes, we're going to talk about goats. Goats. Look at them all. Oh, they look so handsome when they're up there like that, don't they? It looks like an art piece. Actually quite good climbers, as you can see. And in Morocco, it's become a little bit famous for having goats that climb trees, in particular, argan trees. Now, you might use some of that oil in your beauty regime, like in your hair or something. It actually comes from a seed, and 60% of that has been chewed by a goat. You do see goats climbing trees, but why there are like 15 goats in a tree, in this case, I don't know, and it may be a tourist thing or something, but it's definitely an important part of their diet and your beauty regime. Look at that. Ooh. These look like juveniles, like young ones. Look at their little hoofies. Whee! Okay, I'm going to. What a cool creature. Ibex can be found across Europe, Northern Africa, and across Asia in mountainous areas. They can jump something like 1.8 metres straight up without a run-up. Whoop! Guys, making my knees ache just looking at it. The ibex are incredible climbers, and to enable them to do that, they've got some really specialised feet. So they've got 2 toes that are like little hoofy things, but they can move independently, and that creates the ability for them to actually grip onto uneven surfaces. But on top of that, they've got a sort of hard section and a soft section that's concave, and that means that they're sort of like little suction cups. Like, they're not good enough that they're going to be able to stick to a window, but they're definitely good enough that they're going to be able to go up an almost sheer cliff face and be able to grip as they go. Why is his tongue sticking out like that? This handsome chap appears to be doing a mating call. He's really advertising his virility or something similar. One study found that in terms of their vocal behaviour, that is their communication between each other, kids that were brought up together had much more similar accents than kids that were brought up separately. This sort of thing helps with group cohesion. So if you've got an accent that indicates you're from Melbourne, you're going to have solidarity with other people from Melbourne, and it's sort of similar with the goats. Woo! Look at those fancy horns. I reckon you can see a reflection of himself. And he thinks that his reflection is competition. This goat is a markhor. Markhor is a combination of 2 different words, and it means snake eater. Whoa! They're absolutely gorgeous. These are really, really rare goats. There's hardly any of these macaws left in the wild. They're native to sort of Central Asia, right up high in the mountains.
What's up, dude?
The horns are just spectacular. They grow something like 1.5 metres long. 1.5 metres hanging off the back of your head. Can you imagine? Like, I mean, I get a neck ache when I wear my binoculars around my neck. Ah. Okay. Oops. All right, okay. There is a lot going on there. Right. There's a puppy chasing a fawn, but then the goat appears to get into the game but then fall over, right? This is a breed of goat called a myotonic goat. You might have heard of it as the Tennessee fainting goat because it looks like it's had its smelling salts and fallen over. When they get a fright, there's like a glitch. Their muscles go really tense and they just fall over. This is a congenital condition. It's like a recessive gene. In the case of these startling goats, this is something that we're doing as we breed the goats for these particular traits. But I don't think that when I got a fright that I would want to be incapacitated, and, you know, maybe it's the same for the goats as well. Oh my goodness, look how little they are. Goats are much more socially capable than you might give them credit for. They did these tests where they put photos of humans smiling and photos of humans being sad and grumpy and tried to figure out which ones the goat wanted to interact with. Turns out they really like to interact with happy humans. So it's not just body language, it's literally facial expression that the goats can react to. They appear to want cuddles as well. Look at how sweet they are. I think goats are extraordinary. They've got some amazing adaptations to their environment, like their little hooves. But I think their ability to actually read our emotions is something that's really surprising and unique. No. Dolphins are probably one of the most loved animals on the planet. But do they really deserve a place in our heart? What is it that makes them so special? Wow, that is so beautiful. Nailed it! I love that. That would actually hurt, because they're a pretty big animal. Here we go. Oh, that is so good. Oh, it definitely means it. Like, it's way too direct for it to be a mistake. When you see it come out of the water, it just like goes all in one big block. It could be because they thought it was a threat. It could be because it was funny. I suppose the truth of the matter is that dolphins are actually really socially and emotionally complex creatures, and this is one of the outcomes of that. Love it. Could that dolphin be a member of our rugby team representing Australia? That was a pretty good tackle.
Look at this.
Is that a dog in the water? With a dolphin!
Oh, he's having fun. Look at that.
That's pretty cool. They're inherently curious creatures, so meeting a creature that it's never met before, it wants to look at it, it wants to sense it. It might be thinking, this is the weirdest fish I have ever echolocated on. So echolocating is a series of clicks that they throw out into the environment and that echoes back off objects back to them. A bottlenose dolphin, which I assume this probably is, that's the most common dolphin that you see in the waters around Australia, does something like 1,000 clicks a second. Not only are they able to sense a target fish in the water, it's able to sense how big the fish is, how far it is away. It's incredible. That's amazing. Where are they going? Look, they're creating all of that white water on the top. That's so incredible. Some people are really lucky what they get to see. It looks like a washing machine of dolphins. That's so cool. Dolphins make huge groups on occasion. It's what's called a fission fusion society, as they, split off into smaller family or friendship units. And sometimes you might see them in literal hundreds or thousands of dolphins. It's a baby orca. No, this is not ever going to be me. I'm never going in the water ever again. They are the scariest animal on Earth for me. I don't know why. Orcas are the largest of all of the members of the dolphin family, and they can kill great white sharks. They can gang up on things that are much bigger than them. They can kill like blue whales. These things are freaking incredible. It's hard to tell what's happening here exactly. It could be playful, it could be like slightly aggressive because there's those smaller orca there. Although they're seen as deadly, there is no record of an orca ever killing a human in the wild. Generally, when you hear of orca attacks, it's from individuals who are possibly deranged in captive situations. Not in this sort of situation. Would they be capable of absolutely tearing apart that human and swallowing them? Yes. Orcas are a little bit different than the smaller dolphin species in that orca young will stay with their mothers in a female-led pod for basically their entire life. So beautiful. You'd never ever forget that experience, would you? Animal encounters can be absolutely life-changing, and I spoke with Rob and Nikki Howes from New Zealand who went out swimming one day and came across a pod of dolphins.
It was kind of like they were charging at us and then slapping their tails on the water right next to us. So it was, pretty aggressive.
Wow.
Thought I was going to get eaten by dolphins.
We had no idea what was going on. And that's when I saw the shark for about 2 seconds as it arced around us.
The dolphin just went ballistic.
And then literally within a minute, 2 minutes, the dolphins just suddenly released, just relaxed. And in my own mind, I knew that the threat had gone.
It's definitely an unbeatable experience.
That's so amazing. I mean, these are the sorts of stories that you hear handed down like folklore. So they are some lucky people, not just because the dolphins protected them and saved their lives, but that they got to be that close to wild animals that are that smart. They're very lucky. Whoa. Oh, is it hurting those fish? Look at it, it's gonna make a circle. Look at this. Ah, so cool. Dolphins in Florida have a really special way of catching their dinner. They basically go around and they drag through the mud and create a muddy circle which acts like a net, right? So it started drawing the circle and the fish got caught in the middle of the circle, and then basically they're a bit discombobulated and they can't see where to go, and the dolphin swings in with its echolocation and eats all the fish. Wow, see the fish just panicking. Such an ingenious thing. So yes, dolphins are undeniably awesome. They seem to really enjoy having fun. They communicate with each other in really complex ways. And even though they have the capacity to kill us, they don't really seem to want to. So what more could you want? And if you're one of the lucky people that's been out there in the ocean and got close to a dolphin, think yourself lucky that you get to be close to an extraordinary being. It's probably smarter than you.
Cheers, mate.
We've got even better videos to come, so stay tuned. Wow! From Disney to Dr. Seuss, we've grown up with heaps of lovable elephants in books and films. But how much do we really know about wild elephants? Okay. Oh, there's a little baby back there. Look at her just appear out of the bush. Oh, jeez, that's a big animal. He knows what he's doing, hey? I've never seen an elephant in the wild, but my understanding is the best thing to do is remain calm. And I'd be probably trying to slowly move away in a really non-threatening way. Oof, look at how big they are. Is she leaving? Crisis averted. Oh no, it was just to get a run up. Wow! She's so powerful, and because she's so close up, you get a really good view of her tusks. These are essentially extensions of their teeth. They're not hollow like horns, they're absolutely beautiful and solid, and it's thought that something like 30,000 elephants a year are poached just for ivory. Oh, that driver is so lucky that he is unharmed. Oh dear. So this is a demonstration of anxious elephants. We've got trumpeting, the tails are erect, the ears are out, like this is all saying that the elephants are uncomfortable with the presence of these humans. Oof, big trumpet. So when a human is speaking, we, as a general rule, use about 1 octave of sound. Elephants use about 4 octaves of sounds. There are sounds that happen that are barely perceptible for humans, but elephants can hear them. And in the right conditions, they can hear each other over like 10 kilometres using these amazing low sounds. These are African elephants. The easiest way to tell, essentially, African elephants generally have the shape of Africa as their ears.
Hey, hey, come on.
So amazing.
That's enough.
It's hard not to be in awe of them, really. Look at him looking for the food. Oh, that would hurt that driver because those trunks can weigh something like 130 kilograms. It's one of the most complex organs that has ever evolved on Earth. It's basically a combination of an upper lip and a nose, as well as fingers. As the elephant's looking around the car, it's smelling everything. Olfaction is a really important part of animal communication, and it is for the elephants as well. That's so cool. No, come back, mate. That's terrifying, but also very, very, very cool. Look at his little hairy butt. Oh my goodness, so itchy. I think it's an Asian elephant. I can't tell that from its bum, but because it's got small ears. One of the differences between the Asian and African elephants is the African elephants have a much more wrinkly skin, and that's because they live in much drier country, and the wrinkles basically hold on to moisture in the skin. It's so cute. It's just flopping around. When they're babies, they're a bit uncoordinated, just like baby humans are with their limbs. Oh, you're so big. Oh, it's practicing. When they're little, they practice charging at things like warthogs. It literally sounds like the Lion King. When they're born, they weigh about 90 kilograms, so that's a pretty decent-sized human. The thing is, they have to be pretty much ready to go when they come out, right? Because to access the mother's milk, they really have to be able to stand up and reach because the mothers are so big. So yeah, they come out pretty much fully formed and gorgeous. Aww. Oh no! We've got an amazing scene here. We've got a whole group of elephants trying to cross the river, and you can see the little baby using its trunk as a snorkel, not very successfully because it's getting in a little bit of distress. But when another elephant shows distress, whether that be physical or emotional, they will help each other. You can see that the other adults immediately sort of converge and figure out the issue. The oldest, largest females are in general sort of like the leaders of the group. They have decades and decades of lived experience, and they can remember where water holes are, where they found lots of good food, where dangerous things happen, places to avoid. They've got incredibly long memories. Elephants are amazing in every single sense of the word, whether it's their absolute loyalty to their family group, their ability to problem solve, or their unique anatomy. They are extraordinary in every way. Camels are weird-looking creatures. I'm pretty sure that we can say that, but they make living in the desert look like a walk in the park. So how do they do that?
سوي الحركة سوي الحركة. أنا بدي بعدين. أنا بخاف.
Pretty sure that white bread isn't good for camels.
زعطة
Look at how big its head is. Camels are huge, like 2.5 metres high at the hump and maybe 3 metres long. They are just enormous. Their nostrils are long and flat and can close over, and that's so that they don't breathe in heaps of heat and sand, which is pretty rad. And on top of that, their eyes, beautiful eyes. They've got really long eyelashes, which is to keep the heat and the sand out. They are perfectly adapted for that desert environment. 90% of the world's camels are dromedary camels, this one-humped camel. There are millions of camels worldwide, but most of them are domesticated, and there is no such thing anymore as wild dromedary camels.
Oh, God. Oh,
Oh,
get your video going.
Oh, they're so regal.
Oh, my. For the love of God.
That's pretty cool. So these are a different species of camel. These are Bactrian camels, and you can tell because they've got two humps. And in fact, there's two species within them. There's one that is a domestic Bactrian camel, which I'm imagining that these are, but there are wild Bactrian camels, and these are the only truly wild camels left in the world. And they are simply amazing. They turn into these huge shaggy monsters in the winter and are able to withstand well below freezing. They can drink salt water. They live in the Gobi Desert in Mongolia and China, and there are less than 1,000 left, which means they're critically endangered. Camels are found in some really weird places that you wouldn't quite expect. Like, we've got heaps in Australia. They're not native here. They're feral. That means that they were once domesticated, used as stock animals or for transport, and then were released or escaped and have made Australia home. Whoa! That is disgusting. That is a dollar. It's essentially a little fleshy sac that's on the inside of a male camel's mouth, and they can inflate it with air when they feel things. So this is a male camel with feelings. It does have like a sexual element to it where he's showing off, but he can use it in all sorts of different situations. Oh. That's incredible. Look at it. Inside the lips of a camel is sort of scary. They can eat the most amazingly prickly and hard things, and it comes down to a whole heap of conical things that are on the inside of their lips. They're called papillae. Yeah. They're partly made of keratin, the same stuff that makes your nails or your hair, and so that's what gives them that sort of rigidity. I don't think that like prickly pears would probably be the sort of thing that they would eat had they been wild, because it does seem like it'd probably be on the extreme end of things. As an adaptation to living in these hot environments, camels are also able to lose a lot of water, like 30% of the water in their body. If that happened to us, we would cark it, right? Because we can only lose about 10% of our water mass before our blood basically becomes too thick for our heart to pump. When it gets extremely hot, a camel can last something like 4 to 7 days maybe without drinking, but in really good conditions, they can go like 10 months without having a drink. It can drink an incredible amount to rehydrate itself, something like 110 litres in 10 minutes. That's 11 litres a minute. Oh, is this a stuntman? Is he gonna... He's gonna leap a camel. Oh, yeah, roundhouse kick. Yeah, I mean, they're not predators, right? But they have ways to defend themselves. And if you're going to do something annoying like take a running jump to land on its back, it's going to clock you one. Oh, it's good timing though, isn't it? And right on the knees. Vicious. So there you have it. Camels are bizarre. But despite the fact that they do all of this weird stuff, they are really amazing at surviving in the world's harshest environment, and for that reason, they are extraordinary.
Cheers, mate.
The kea is a New Zealand parrot that has been nicknamed the clown of the mountains. But why is it that something that likes having fun so much can live in the freezing cold?
Hey mate, got a job for you. Gee mate.
Can you give us a hand? Cheers, mate.
That's amazing. So Kea are what's called neophilic. And before you get worried, it actually means that they're attracted to new things. They like to have new experiences. So they're really curious. So they're going to do things like open a bottle of beer for you. The beak on the Kea is so amazing for a parrot. In fact, some people have called it the Swiss Army knife of beaks because it can basically do everything. Wild Kea are found on the South Island of New Zealand and only there in the world. They're really, really special birds. Look at it. God, they're so cool. In certain parts of New Zealand, right up in the alpine areas where the Kea are native, they are attracted to vehicles because at some point someone has fed them from a vehicle. Perhaps they think there's food inside there or they're just having fun. Oh, it gets it right at the end. That's so good. That's so good. I mean, it's sad for any radio listening, I suppose, but apart from that, you can see a little bit of the iridescence on the wing. And in their underwing part is this amazing patch of like scarlety red. It's just absolutely gorgeous. Keas are now protected because they're an endangered species, and it's thought that these days there's only like 3,000 to 7,000 Kea left in the wild, which isn't that many. I mean, it's a lot of car aerials though, isn't it? It works for the council. Oh, is it putting them out to try and stop cars? Oh my God, they're so smart. Look at it. Because then when you stop a car, you can start to attack the car until someone gives you a sandwich. Oh, I love these birds. It's dragging, pushing, pulling. One of the strategies to get around this sort of Kea damage has been to create playgrounds for them next to stopping points like this. They put a Kea gym right there and it's got things for them to swing on and spin around and movable bits to try and keep them off the cars because they just love new things. They love to play. Oh. Hello, nighttime Kea. Oh no! This is the side of parrots you never thought you'd see. Under the cover of darkness, the Keas will go up to a flock and they'll take some chunks out of the hindquarters of sheep. It's pretty gory stuff. And back in the earlier colonial days, they would pay people to go out and kill the Keas because they thought that they were murdering heaps and heaps of sheep. Now, you might wonder why a Kea would do this. Well, it's really high in fats and all the protein that you need, especially if you live at a high altitude and you've got a chick in the nest. But these attacks are extremely uncommon and rarely fatal. It's generally from an infection from the wound, and that doesn't happen so much anymore. Sometimes Kea can just sort of like ride around and be playing on the back of a sheep. So I don't think they're always being sort of murderous when they're up there. I mean, look at it. It's like sheep rodeo. Ooh! Oh, now this is fascinating. So we've got 2 juveniles here and 1 adult. And I can tell that because the fleshy bits around the eye and the fleshy bit at the base of the beak is yellow in juveniles and gets darker the older that they get. God, they're silly. Play is a way of not just enjoying your environment, but learning about it. And, you know, it's always good to have a toy that your friends don't have. It's been shown that the calls they make when they're playing, like laughter, in that they're infectious to the other Keas around them. So when they're making the sounds of play and another Kea hears it, they'll play harder and longer. Just like, you know, encouraging each other, I suppose. These cocky alpine parrots have made a life for themselves in a place where no other parrot can live. I think it's because they're fearless. And despite the fact that it can be a little gory, the Kea is definitely extraordinary. So there you go. 5 of the world's most extraordinary wild animals. Now, you might be surprised at how smart some of them are, or how sneaky, or perhaps you might just like laughing along with their antics. But the truth is that just like us, animals are extraordinary in a million different ways. Hey, thanks for watching, and make sure you subscribe to ABC Science if you enjoyed this video, because we have videos like this every single week. And on top of that, look for ABC Science on social media, and even me, because I'd like to say hello. Catch you next time.